this be the last time Erik ten Hag is in the United dugout?
There's the full-time whistle. Listen to the boos. It's finished. Manchester United 0, Newcastle 3.
I'm a fighter. I know it's not always going up. We have a lot of setbacks this season so far.
Manchester United players aren't improving under this manager. He's got to go.
Newcastle United fans are singing "You're Getting Sacked in the Morning" to Erik ten Hag.
Don't be scared.
It's below the standards you can expect with Manchester United. This is not good enough by far.
Why is Ten Hag getting the get out of jail card time and time again?
If there was any hope that this season was still salvageable for Manchester United, then those hopes may just have been quashed.
As soon as they face any adversity, they wilt. There's no character, there's no spine, there's no backbone, there's no leaders.
The writing's on the wall. He's going to go eventually, isn't he? We're just prolonging it now.
He looks like a clown on the sideline. All that's missing is a red nose, some face paint, and I'll leave it there.
That's absolutely brutal.
Don't hold back, mate, whatever you do.
Brutal.
Hey, if you're going to ring in, at least give us your opinion.
Stuff there. As we heard there, reports this afternoon suggest Erik ten Hag will manage his final game as Manchester United manager tomorrow against Manchester City in the FA Cup final. Win or lose. The Guardian's Jacob Steinberg broke the news and joined Hawksby and Jacobs earlier to explain the bizarre decision.
I would agree that it's not helpful. I mean, if you go back down the years, then you might think back to Manchester City in 2013. Was reminded of that when it broke, I think, the night before the final against against Wigan, that Roberto Mancini was probably going to go and that they were already in talks with Manuel Pellegrini. So it's not unheard of. And, having finished 8th, which is the lowest position for them since 1990, the FA Cup final just is that last chance to get into Europe. But obviously what we're hearing is that this will be his last game.
Yeah, that was the Guardian's Jacob Steinberg who broke the news earlier that Erik ten Hag will be sacked, win, lose, or whatever happens tomorrow. It's his final game in charge. Now, and listen, you and I have been involved in football a long time, and these kind of rumours that knock around, it's not uncommon, right? But for something like this to break on the eve of a cup final is almost unheard of.
Look, when I heard the news in the week that Kieran McKenna's representatives were discussing with Man United about the possibility of him taking over after Erik ten Hag.
By the way, what a rise that boy's had.
Incredible.
Oh my
I mean,
God.
look, the last couple of years have been off the charts, haven't they? With Ipswich, they've been amazing. But if he was to get the United job, wow, good luck to him. When I heard that during the week, I thought, well, you have to. Even though I thought it was very unfair on Ten Hag to hear stuff like that basically you're out the door. Now, it goes with the territory. Seemingly nowadays more than ever. Not so much in our day when we were playing. If we ever came in, Jay, to work and a manager had gone. Yeah. I mean, Bobby Campbell was a God rest him.
We were talking. Explain to the listeners what we were talking about earlier.
Well, we had a Player of the Year do at Chelsea, didn't we? And I remember Bobby's. I think it's Bobby's wife actually came over to me and said, "Oh, would you just have a word with Bobby?" And I sort of went over and he said, "I've just been sacked."
This is the player. I remember it very well.
This is at the do.
I think was it 91?
Yeah, 90 or 91, Jay. Going that far back, 30 odd years. But he said, "I've just been sacked. Bates's just sacked me."
And this is player of the year. We're all walking around.
Bates's across the room. He's like laughing his head off. Batesy, he's just sacked him. And I've gone, "You're joking?" He went, "No, he's just sacked me." He said, "Look, so we're off. We're going like him." And, as you would expect.
Yeah, but why do it then?
But that was a rarity and a real shock.
Yeah.
Nowadays we seemingly get more of these managers where they are like the whole world knows they're going. Yeah. Even they know they're going. And yet, I tell you what, he'd go up in my estimation if tonight he turned around and said, "Stick it. Shove it as far as you can stick it, where the sun does not shine and never will." And
wait, hold on, you're just say the Glazers, right? And to Jim, "No, I've had enough. No, you lot deal with this. I'm getting sacked." Go.
Why does that never happen? Why are these managers nowadays forced to be humiliated almost, taking the mickey out of?
Because the money. If he did that, he would lose millions.
He'd lose his right.
So now he's got to suck it up. So now save the humiliation. He's got to take the humiliation because you know what? He's probably going to get £4.5 million in his bank account.
Well, there you go. It surprises me that someone hasn't done that. Someone hasn't gone. Have some of that, and you can. Yeah, good luck to you. I wish you all the best, but don't tell the bus driver not to bother come and pick me up in the morning, because I won't be on it. I just think it's it's shocking. Now listen, you can get, of course, I was going to say, you can get that scenario where the Kieran McKenna meeting representatives of Manchester United. That could be, and I'm just suggesting, that doesn't have to necessarily mean it's come from Manchester United. That could be from McKenna's representatives that are trying to bring other parties to the table. Right, and they're doing their job. Agents are all spinning plates and doing their job right now as we speak. But I just find this stuff where managers now are I mean, he's gonna walk his team out tomorrow.
He is, I know, and that's going to be the topic. We're talking about it now. You know what's going to be on breakfast tomorrow? Yeah. Build up to the final. It's one of the biggest days in the football calendar, and Erik ten Hag is going to have to suffer the human. Look, when these rumours start, they're not going to go away. It feels almost impossible now, for him to leave Man United out any time next season. And it feels impossible.
If they go one down in the game early on, which isn't beyond the realms of possibility at all against Manchester City, if United were to go one down, then the fans are going to be screaming, "Get him gone now, go and you know." And the job is incredibly difficult as it is. I just think it's an absolute nightmare scenario that he wakes up on the morning of an FA Cup final. When, by the way, if he does win it, he's won 2 trophies in 2 years.
And that ain't the worst.
Right? That is not the worst. But it's just totally humiliating. I'd like to know what the United fans think.
Well, here we go. 03717223344. As we said, that story I broke earlier via the Guardian's Twitter and the website. Jacob Steenberg broke the news. He joined Hawksby and Jacobs earlier. Standing the story up, Man United fans, 03717223344. He's Andy Townsend. I'm Jason Gray. This is Drive Time here on talkSPORT. Andy Goldstein, my former nemesis, who said he believes Sir Alex Ferguson should be in charge of Manchester United for the FA Cup final.
I've got a plan. People are talking about Erik ten Hag leaving the club. I know people are going to go, this is bonkers, but it's not bonkers. Mm-hmm. Manchester United, for the FA Cup final against Man City, having that dressing room to give the speech beforehand.
Yep.
Sir Alex Ferguson. That gives Manchester United the best chance to beat Man City.
Unless I'm still laughing at most of that. I shaved his head on it. That's hilarious. So that was Andy Goldstein. Now, I heard that show on the way in. When he said it, I have to say, I laughed at him, thinking, you're just amazing. Do you know what, mate? I think he could be on to something.
Well,
here.
I was just about to say,
honestly,
I was just about to ask you, look, that ain't going to happen. We know that's not going to happen.
Not.
But would it inspire them? Would it lift them? Would it do something? Yeah, it probably would, Jay. It probably
yes.
would. Right,
so it's not stupid. So Mr. Goldstein there, I think, needs to be credited.
Yes, but with what's happened with Ten Hag, right, tomorrow, what do you think the United fans, the way that they're going to receive their manager at the start of the game, if they go behind in the game, is what's happened this week going to humiliate him and they're going to have even more of a go at him, or do you think they'll get
I tell you
behind him?
Why don't we speak to a Man United fan now? Let's go and speak to John, who's a Man United fan. All right, John boy.
Hi guys.
How are you?
Discussing at my football club yet again, throwing another manager under the bus. Talking about it before an FA Cup final, talking to other managers, and they knew it was going to come out, and that's the main reason that they've done it. It's pathetic. Jim Ratcliffe is pathetic. He's a glazer. He's a puppet. He's a puppet for them. That's why they're letting him take charge of the football side. They can still make the money out of the football club by getting rid of another manager. Let's get Kieran McKenna. He failed under Ole. Let's get him back. 2 years' time. McKenna is not good enough. Let's fuck him. The roundabout goes round and round again.
John,
This club is pathetic.
Are you going to the cup final, mate? Are you going, John?
I'm not even watching it. I'm not even watching it.
What do you mean? Of course you
are. You're going to watch it.
John, you're lying to us and yourself, mate.
No.
Okay, let me ask you this then. Tomorrow at 3 o'clock, what are you going to be doing?
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
I'm going to watch the rugby league, that's on. There's a rugby league game on tomorrow. I'm willing to walk away from my football club.
He's lying.
I'll stick.
No, you're lying, John.
Stick to my local rugby league team.
No.
My local rugby league team is more important than United at the moment. I'm just sick of the roundabout that keeps going on. Nothing changes. We've got a ground that's falling apart. It's leaking. It's just a joke. The club is a joke. If we get McKenna, you're going to be talking in 2 years' time on this radio station, sack McKenna. And I'll guarantee that this will be said in 2 years' time, and I'll come back on. Because that is what's going to happen. He's not good enough. think he's going to be good enough to beat Pep Guardiola?
The truth of the matter, John, is that we don't know yet whether Kieran's good enough for to manage a Premier League team.
Good enough. Not good enough. He was under Ole. He was a coach under Ole.
Yeah, but he finished second.
That was when he was a number 2.
He finished second that season.
Yeah. But United fans didn't want McKenna then as well. They didn't want him. He just, let's say we get McKenna. If he's going to challenge Pep in the next 3 or 4 years, not a chance.
But that's not his primary job, is it? You've got to be. You're challenging Eddie Howe. You've got to try and get ahead of Unai Emery. That's where you are at the moment. I've got to say though, John.
I don't know. If you said Emery, I'd say that's a good. That would be a good upgrade.
John, for someone that doesn't care about United, mate, you're not going to watch tomorrow. You're sounding pretty passionate about it, mate. You'll definitely be watching tomorrow. You will be, John Boy.
I followed him for over 40 years. Why should I give my time and energy when the owners and Ineos, they were an absolute disgrace anyway, and I didn't want them in charge. I didn't even want them.
No, you're watching.
He's
definitely watching.
I wanted the whole club to be sold.
John.
I wanted the whole club to be sold. We didn't get that.
Hold on, John. John's come on. He basically wants Man United wants Old Trafford folded up into a bag.
He does.
Thrown into the channel. Hold on a minute. Is there anything, John, you like about your club? He's gone. I know he's gone. But look, of course he'll be watching. Everyone will be watching.
Of course they are.
The world will be watching. It's the FA Cup final.
John, are you lying?
No, I won't be watching it. Jason, I will not be watching it tomorrow.
He's lying. Are you lying, John?
You phone me tomorrow. No. You phone me tomorrow.
Like 3 o'clock.
I'll be watching rugby league.
3 o'clock.
Yeah.
I'll phone you at 3.
Is it actually kicking?
I'm watching rugby league. I will answer the phone. I will not be watching the FA Cup final because I know what's going to happen then.
John, have a good weekend, matey.
Thank you, John.
No, I won't be because I'm watching FA Cup. I won't be because I won't be watching that.
God, that's what he's done. Look at here, the poor fella.
John's looking forward to his weekend, isn't he?
No, he's not. No, do you know what, right? He doesn't want to watch the rugby. He don't want to watch the rugby league. He don't want to watch it. He's going to force himself to watch something different. He'd
rather, a great game this is. It's 0-0 in the rugby.
He'll be on the talkSPORT app seeing what the score is.
talkSPORT Drive. Super opinionated sporting debate. Monday to Friday afternoon from 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.